The girl in the Danish Deception showed that she was a red flag first, which is the reason why a lot of that shit ended up happening to her. And you're probably thinking, like, that's victim blaming. What are you talking about? She said two key things before this man even showed a red flag that she was indeed the red flag.
Basically said, aside from being a good cook, she checks off every single box. And I remember I looked at him, my ex, and I said, but I will become a great cook for a good man. And he starts laughing. I remember I put my hand on his leg, and that was the first time in my life that I felt that instant electricity from someone's touch. Like, it literally felt like I was getting shocked. And we instantly had this physical attraction towards each other. And we started talking about what we did for work, and I told him that I was working as a real estate agent and in tech. And then he told me, I'm actually chief commercial officer for an ad tech company that does marketing for. And he tells me, you can pick out whatever you want to buy, you can get it. So we're going to Cartier, we're going to Chanel, we go to Dior. I see this yellow bag I fall in love with, but I felt so uncomfortable because I don't want this man to think that I'm with him for his money. And I didn't want him to feel like I was using him. So I remember just being like, oh, it's okay. I love this purse, but I was like, it's just okay. And we end up going to Dolce & Gabbana, and I pick out this nice pair of $200 sunglasses. And he looks at me, he goes, dang, you're cheap. And I said, I'm a simple girl, even though I wanted the Dior bag. But I want him to know that I was there for the right reasons. Oh my gosh, bachelor trauma.
Now, she wasn't the red flag to the man in the situation. She was a red flag to herself. You cannot prove that you're a green flag to a man while simultaneously being a green flag to yourself. She was the red flag to herself in this situation. Prior to her saying these two things, that man did not show a single red flag. I mean, I would say maybe him liking all of her Instagram things could have been a red flag. I mean, I would say that was probably the first thing that happened that could be, potentially considered a red flag. But the reason why so many women miss red flags is because women are trying to prove to men how good of a target you are. When men are talking about things like they want a woman that'll cook, that'll clean, that'll be sacrificial, they're trying to tell women that they want you to prove to them that you're a good target for them to use and manipulate. This is the reason why the simp culture gets demonized by men. Because men that don't consider themselves to be simps don't like the idea that there are men out here that are willfully considering themselves good targets by leading with their money or wanting to provide or wanting to be generous to women. Because in a man's eyes, that makes you a target for gold diggers. Why would I lead with money, and why would I try to prove to a woman how much money it is that I'm willing to spend on her when that will make me a good target in order for her to use me? Because it's a projection. Because that's what they're doing. They're the ones that are over here seeking out how much you're willing to sacrifice, how much you're willing to give up to prove to them that you're the green flag. All they need to do is hear you mention that you're going to change one thing about yourself in order to give them a chance or in order to keep them around. Once you do that, they know that they got you. Once you try to prove to them that, hey, I'm different, or I don't do this, but I'll make a concession for you, you're an exception, they already know that they got this shit in the bag because you allowed yourself to now be a target because you're trying to lead with how great I am, how much of a green flag that I am, when in reality, you're now becoming the red flag to yourself. Men understand the emotional investment it takes for a woman to get outside of herself to do things for a man that she typically would not do. They understand that there is a large amount of risk that goes into that. And so when you prove to them like, oh shit, she was willing to make the emotional investment to want to give me money, to want to travel back and forth, to see me, to want to make all of these exceptions for me, she's not going to back out now because she's already made the emotional and then later on financial investment into me. They already know that at this point, you've already did something that you did not really want to do in the first place, or that you felt like if I do this, I'm going to get a big benefit out of this. This is why men have to like sell you these dreams and like make these promises saying that, well, I know you don't want to do it, but if you do it, this is what's going to happen. So that's why he was able to get all these like large amounts of money from her, because he kept promising her, you're going to get a return on your investment. You're going to get a return on your investment. And she already was acknowledging the fact that she was willing to do that when she said that she would be willing to cook for him, even though she doesn't cook. Because in her brain, the investment that she would be making by learning how to cook and cooking for a man, she's gonna get a man that she is sexually attracted to, that claims that he's an Olympian and he's into crypto and he comes from a royal family. That's gonna be her reward if she decides to make all of these sacrifices. The reward is false. The reward is fake. The reward is never real. And she knew it wasn't real. That's the reason why she didn't just use a simple Google search to look for the Olympians. It's super easy to see who's on an Olympic team. It's going to list out every single person. It's even going to list out the alternates of any Olympian. Not to mention, just knowing male nature, you should already know that with how boastful, with how prideful, and how ego-driven men are not giving a gold medal to their mom. They're not giving a gold medal to their grandmother. They're going to have that gold medal encased in something and have it smack dab at the very, very front of their home when you walk in, because they want everybody to know that they were in the Olympics. So that doesn't make sense. She even told this man that she loved him first. Another red flag, proving to this man she's making heavy emotional investments. Men know that a woman's emotional investments is like a man's financial investments. The more a man financially pours into a woman, the harder it's going to be for him to back out of dealing with a woman. The more a woman pours into a man emotionally, he understands that it's going to be very hard for her to back out. That's the reason why she didn't Google anything. That's the reason why she didn't look up anything. Because women are cowards, okay? Women are cowards when it comes to wanting to come to the realization that they've been played or that they've been fooled. Women rather keep lying to themselves and be in delusion in la la land and just like not face the truth head on. That way they could sit here on the internet and say like, oh, this guy betrayed me, this guy did this, which is the reason why there are so many women saying that you missed all these red flags. Well, of course she missed all these red flags because she's too busy trying to present herself as the perfect target to a man. You're going to miss every single red flag when you're trying to prove to a man, I'm a good target. You can get all the money that you want from me. You can use me and I'm going to cheapen myself down for you. I mean, she literally refused to vocalize the fact that she wanted, I think, like a Dior bag. She literally neglected her needs because she didn't want to come off like she was a gold digger. Further signaling to this man that she is willing to betray what her own wants and needs are because she likes me so much. You're a good target. You're a very, very good target when someone wants to gain something from you, because they understand, if you're going to cheapen yourself for me, what else are you willing to do for me? That's how she got down this rabbit hole of giving money and giving money and giving money. Because just with that sentence alone, I'm going to cook for a man, you know, even though I don't know how to cook, I'm going to cook for the special man. Well, then of course he's going to become the special man, because you've already made it clear I'm willing to make concessions for a man that I'm attracted to, and you made it very clear that you're attracted to him. The less time you spend trying to make yourself a target to a man, the clearer the red flags are going to be. You cannot simultaneously look for red flags while you're agreeing to prove how much of a green flag you are to a man.